hospital administration as a branch that you can do after MBBS.
The point is you have to realize that this branch is something which cuts you off from the clinical practice. That's the first thing.
What is the pathway of getting into hospital administration? If somebody after MBBS decides that they want to be just dealing with the administration and not go into clinical work.
What are the options available for hospital administration? We have a 1-year course. We have a 2-year PG diploma, then a 3-year masters in hospital administration. Right. All of these are non-MCI courses.
If you have done masters in hospital administration, there are chances that you can head a hospital.
Hello everyone, so welcome to another video of PW MedEd. In this video, we'll talk about hospital administration as a branch that you can do after MBBS. And I'm very pleased to introduce Dr. Vinish, who is our anesthesia faculty at PW MedEd, and Dr. Oishika, who is the Obs-Gynae faculty at PW MedEd. So welcome both of you. And just a little introduction. So Dr. Vinish has done a hospital administration course, and that is why he is very well apt to enlighten all of you what hospital administration is. So welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So I would like to say there's another thing that we do not think about while we are doing our MBBS, and we can think about this branch also as a post-graduation. Most of us do not think about it, that it can be picked up. But yes, there's a branch that exists which is called as hospital administration. Now, before I delve into it further, the point is you have to realize that this branch is something which cuts you off from the clinical practice. That's the first thing. You are involved in the hospital, but you're dealing with the hospital administration. You're not dealing with the patients directly per se. So this is one thing that needs to be taken care of.
Sir, what is the pathway of getting into hospital administration? If somebody after MBBS decides that they want to be just dealing with the administration and not go into clinical work, what are the different ways through which, because there is not a lot of information, and I do have a lot of students who are asking me, ma'am, how do we get into MHA, or how do we do MD hospital administration? Is there a separate exam? What is the way to go about it?
Right. So from whatever I know, let me put it this way. So there are 2 or 3 courses that we can go ahead with. So the first thing would be sort of, a 1-year contact program, which is run by various institutions. And most of the times these hospital administration and management degrees are not coming from our medical council. So they basically are being recognized by the All India Council of Technical Education. So the ones which provide with MBA. So normally they come from there. So based on that, they have these 1-year courses also where you have, you enroll with a particular institute. These are management institutes, and they will give you those, modules. You go through the modules, do a project, finish off your project, give an exam, and you're kind of certified kind of a hospital administration. But this does not yield you jobs. This is just a course where, which helps you kind of grow in case you're planning to put your clinic, or maybe you join somewhere. But actual course is a 3-year course. Okay. It's like a 3-year MD course. Okay. And if you ask me, the best institute at my time, what we used to think was Tata Institute of Social Sciences in Mumbai. So these offer a separate hospital administration course. And when you do these 3-year courses, you are it's like going through an MD college, like you're doing a post-graduation. It's a proper residential kind of a program. You're doing it for 3 years. Ideally, that is the best suited. The 2-year programs are also there. They are called Diploma in Hospital Administration. I think Faculty of Management Studies in Delhi also offers that. Okay. Faculty of Management Studies in which is the Delhi University.
Delhi University.
DU also offers that. These are 2-year course. So doing all these courses, you can apply into corporate hospitals. You're dealing with the day-to-day administration, the way that things are working in the hospital, hiring of personnel, looking after, the patient care, getting those instruments, and looking about the business part of the hospital rather than dealing directly with the patient. Another thing I want to say is that institutes, premier institutes like AIIMS and PGI have also started this MD hospital administration. Now, normally the admission happens to the same courses, and some people who are interested are the ones who take it up. But there's, I think, only just one seat each from what I know. Okay. But now I would like to just tell everyone, all the students, which I tell students always, is that think before you choose hospital administration. Like I myself have done hospital administration, but I choose to do clinical practice. So for me, it's just become an added part, And because of that reason, in my hospital, I'm also an administrative head in the sense that, I take care a little bit about the administrative part of it. So in case you're doing it only for hospital administration, you'll be dealing only with the administration part of it and not dealing with the patients. This has to be kept into mind.
So just to summarize, what are the options available for hospital administration? We have a 1-year course. We have a 2-year PG diploma, then a 3-year masters in hospital administration. Right. All of these are non-MCI courses.
Right. One more thing I'd like to say, Dr. Rishabh, that diploma, the one that I was talking about, diploma in hospital administration, which is offered perhaps by the FMS, Faculty of Management Studies in Delhi. Now, this is a program where doctors who are already working can go and join.
Okay.
So these, I mean, there are a lot of programs which are, it's made in such a way that, like around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you're free. It used to be this way some time back. I'm not very sure how it happens now. You can attend the evening classes, and then you appear, do your project, and what a project after submission is, then go ahead with your submission, and you give your exam, clear it, and this has been offered by the DU. So even this, something of like this has also been there. So the 2-year course is this way. It works out this way is what I am aware of. The 3-year is a proper residential course. It's like a proper MD.
So, sir, if you could just shed some light on how rigorous the course is if somebody were to take MD after MBBS, and how does it translate finally into earning, or in real life when you go out, what is the salary like? What is the work that it entails? How messy is it? Yeah.
Let's talk about that. That's an important point, because people would like to compare the clinical work schedule with what happens in hospital administration. So from what I know, because mine was not a 3-year course, but otherwise people have done 3-year courses. They normally say it's not going to be as hectic as how it's, our clinical postings, because, clinical postings, you're dealing directly with the patient. And when it comes to patient care, all of us are aware, no one takes a step down, like if you have to do extra duties, you will do it. If it's a 36-hour duty, you will do it. So it's not going to be as hectic as what we do in our clinical practice or when we are doing our post-graduation in clinical. But in terms of earnings, again, I will say that when you start earning, it's like any MBA graduate that you start at a little less salary. And the more and more experience you get is when you get paid well. But remember that if you have done masters in hospital administration, there are chances that you can head a hospital. You can head a hospital chain. You will be basically looking into the business part of it. How do you expand the business? So your mindset does not just stay as a doctor anymore. It will be more in terms of a businessman. You will be thinking, okay, now if this is one place that I have started, how do I make it work further? How do I make it grow? As a doctor, you are not thinking that, oh, this patient is there, how do I make my practice grow? More than that, you will think that, let more patients come, I want to treat more of them. So I think it's more about the mindset. Your mindset kind of changes into the fact that, you kind of will become more business minded rather than the clinical practice. So you need to know that this is the, it cuts it off. You are going to be a business person more than a clinician now.
Sir, I had one more question. So, like, you have also done a course in hospital administration. Some of the students may have a doubt. After MBBS, should I directly go for an MD in hospital administration, or should I do an MD, or, even non-clinical people do a course and then go for a diploma course? Job-wise, is there the same question as an MD, DNB and all of that? Is it equivalent when it comes to job opportunities?
Got your point. So now I'll say that, whether we should be doing it directly or not. So the same thing, why I did was because I was preparing for my PG entrance. I thought I had nothing to do by then. So I thought by just joining the course, I'll be getting an additional degree, and that is what has happened. So this happened as an additional degree, which is attached to my name. And in case I would not have got my, PG courses, then maybe perhaps I would have continued there and secured a job when people were not taking this so much. Now, coming to the fact about, you had asked me about salaries also. As I said, salaries initially was less. With more experience, you'll be getting more. And for students who are planning to take it the very first time, I think you have to be totally oriented to the fact that you're going to handle a hospital or do administration of a hospital. I would like to say this way. There are few people I know, my colleagues, who are running those chain of hospitals or pathology lab centers or, chain of hospitals. So those are the kind of students who would, benefit more from doing a course like this if they're not very keen on a clinical practice, and if they feel that, clinical is not my forte, but I still want to be associated with a hospital and maybe let me grow my hospital. So those kind of people, those kind of students can still take it as a first chance, but the people who are really keen on clinical practice,
they should not.
They should not, according to me, because if that there's a zeal, as everyone says, that I want to do clinical practice, I want to be associated with a hospital in terms of clinical teaching or maybe teaching juniors. So whether you take your first prof subject, second prof subject, or third prof subject, irrespective of that, I want to be associated there. In administration, you're away from all that. You're at the back end.
So I think those students, who have given 2-3 attempts and want to take a break from this very tedious NEET PG preparation.
Of course.
I mean, it is not a bad idea to maybe explore this, at least a 1-year program in hospital administration, if some universities offer them.
Kind, and this is more of a contact program, so which can be done when you're still studying or preparing. If it's still valid, because these guidelines keep on changing depending from government to government and time to time. So if it changes, you'll have to be, more aware of how things are happening. But yeah, so these are the three which can be done. And as you said, I think it should be for people who are looking up at clinical, they should keep it the last thing. When they're done, like, okay, I want to run away from the rat race. It's a rat race. So when you're tired of the rat race, is when you can think of, okay, let's go. That's my take.
It seems with newer regulations now, MHA is slightly ebbing away and it's moving towards MD hospital administration, which requires you to be an MBBS, and which also means that you cannot have two MD degrees, which means that has to be your only and primary MD degree. So yes, with this coming into the picture, definitely something to think about, whether you want to stay in clinical practice or completely cut off from it. So
yes, one more thing I want to add, because I know few of my seniors who had done their MD in community medicine, and after that, because MHA MD in hospital administration is available both right after MBBS and also after your MD. So if for example, someone wants to take up as Sir said, a management position in any hospital, and where we both work in a corporate hospital, and we know that the medical superintendent is like the boss of the hospital. Such jobs require you to be well versed with the procurement, HR management,
personal hiring, sir,
personal hiring, policy making, etc. These things require at a management level, and these jobs, medical superintendent jobs, they are very well paid jobs. Okay, so if you are someone who is maybe not so keen in clinical touch or talking to the patients, maybe this is something which might suit you as well.
Right. So, and I also feel that in terms of your growth prospects, when you're working in corporate hospitals also, in terms of growth prospects, it becomes as an add-on thing.
Yeah.
That the higher you go up, this is one thing which can propel you further.
Differentiating factor.
From someone else who's around you, in a way that now you can handle the administrative part of your department as well. Rather than just looking to, I mean, if this is one other way to go, the higher you're going up, so this can help you with that as well. So maybe as an add-on thing, but this for those people who are more for clinical. And MHA is directly for someone who wants to get into administration. I feel the 3-year course is for someone who just wants to do administration or handle the business of the hospital, make it grow.
So for those people who directly want to get into administration, they want to do the 3-year course. Currently, it is available in limited places. It's not available everywhere. And from what I have talked to some seniors who are in hospital administration, like Sir said, TIS has a very good program. Even Manipal among private has a very good program. And if we talk about central institutes, AIIMS and PGI, you can keep one over the other. You can use them interchangeably. Very rigorous course. You have postings in all departments so that you know the workings, the ins and outs of every department, help with the procurement, policy making, operational, finishing the operations, even lawsuits, legalities that the hospital is faced with. So it looks like a chill branch, but maybe it's not that chill. So, do think about it.
I think pros and cons of everything, everything has its pros and cons. So you have to weigh your options before you choose it rightly.
Yes, but what I would say that again, hospital administration would give you a little work-life balance, which maybe core clinical branches might not. And if you guys are interested in management positions, which, some of my batchmates were, because not everybody has that clinical mindset of working, 12 or 14 hours a day.
So you become someone who appoints people,
Yeah.
And appoint you and appoint you. So if you want to, at any point of time you feel I have not done clinical, I want to appoint the people, and I take the position. I'll appoint you, I'll appoint you, I'll appoint you. This is what happens.
So I think we have already covered all aspects of hospital administration, and I hope you liked the video. If you have any comments, you can put them down in the comment section and we'll be happy to answer. So that's all from our side. Bye-bye.